Hello, everyone. It's me, Kirsten, and this is the It's Giving Mystical podcast. And this is your podcast for the week ahead, the week of July 11th. So, just everyone take a nice big exhale with me. Just let it go for a second. Let your breath release and relax for a second. King of Wands is a ton of energy, a lot of movement, and July is exciting. We had our full moon circle last night, and there was this common theme of learning how to stay with yourself in new spaces or even in old communities, old spaces. And the self development, self realization roller coaster tends to look like something's not working for me. Something in my life or in my relationships or in my environment isn't working for me, or my work isn't working for me. And so I pull back and I go on a journey of understanding better who I am, why things aren't working for me, where the friction is, where the constriction is, like where all the limitations are. And you stay in that quiet place. You stay inside with yourself and you kind of discover, okay, wait a second. For a variety of reasons, I have not honored who I am. I have not really understood myself and allowed myself to exist outside of the context of my family, the context of my environment. And so now I get to know myself a little bit and I think, all right, well, this is who I am. This is what I like. This is what I care about. This is what matters to me. This is what I value. And then at some point, you are inspired to bring that back into the world. So bring that back into your work, bring that back to your family, bring that back to your environment. And you re enter the space as a new version of you. And then there's friction there. There's the ebb and flow of staying with me, staying with who I am and what I need and what I value, and old habits of how to perform in the space. And then the discomfort of that, and then coming back into yourself, and then trying again out in the environment. And so there's this really beautiful, and I hope you have a lot of compassion for the learning curve, the endless kind of learning curve of how to be an embodied, grounded, loving version of yourself that honors who you are while you also are in relationship. And so it's complicated, right? If we could just sit in the woods by ourselves forever or just investigate our own psychology forever, there's something about that that is simple in many ways. Difficult, challenging, of course, but also simple, like it's its own universe. But we want to be in community, we want to be in relationship. And so how do you negotiate that? It's kind of the one of the key questions of self-realization, self-development, the journey of the spiritual human. How do I honor my soul, my heart, my spirit, and also reveal that and connect with people on that level out in the world? So the reason that came up so much in Full Moon Circle was because this question around authority is alive, and it has been for a while. It's been brewing for a while, but it's even more alive right now. Maybe because of the Capricorn transits, maybe because of who knows what else. But there's something about this idea of where do you source your authority from? And for a long time, there's been this call to trust yourself more, to come into a sense of I trust my instincts. I trust my body, my intuition. I trust my heart in terms of where should I be, where should I not be, where do the boundaries need to be confirmed, where do the boundaries need to be softened. And part of what's happening in the world that we're living in is there's like this decentralization of authority. I was thinking about it in the context of academics. So I was on track to do PhD work, and I really was disillusioned by the academic world because they were such rigidity to the lanes. Like if you were going to be an anthropologist, you were only going to be an anthropologist. If you were going to study media studies, you were only going to study media studies. And too like Gemini moon, I'm too like bop, 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 bop. I can't stay still long enough. I'm interested in the cross-pollination. That's like where the heart of my curiosity lies, is how we cross-pollinate in the world with ideas, with each other, with lineages. And so I was thinking about it in that context, and your authority was sourced in the rigidity with which you subscribe to the lineage or subscribe to the historical. There's this general foundational belief that the adults are in charge on some level. And part of what this decentralization in terms of social media, in terms of the way our government's operating right now, is there's a fluidity to what's true. There's a fluidity to where I source my opinions from. I just like kind of make them up as I go along, or are they sourced in something wider or deeper? And I'm conflicted because part of me is like, you can't just say whatever you want. You can't just make anything true just because you feel like saying it. And at the same time, how have we given our authority away because someone else knows better? And so I'm watching this kind of decentralization of authority as something that's both very uncomfortable and maybe even dangerous, and then also completely liberating and completely frees us to make new art, to have new ideas, to make new connections. And that's just interesting. And what that does is it puts the onus on us to have some sense of authority, to trust ourselves. And so, if you've been doing that work for a while, if that's been something you've been cultivating, you're going to be able to handle these transitions with a greater sense of safety, a greater sense of groundedness, a greater sense of purpose. I bring all of that up because I want to remind you of the power of your own authority. But I also want you to begin to discriminate what you allow into your space. One of the other things that's happening is that everyone is becoming a teacher. Everyone is an expert on something. And because of the way social media works, because of the way the cookie's crumbling, there's a lot of noise. It's loud out there. There's a lot of people with a lot of opinions. And again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of beautiful and liberating, but it does require you to have discernment about what you allow into your space. I really want to encourage people to have a discriminating ear in terms of what they take in. Things can be wrapped in beautiful packages, beautiful language, and be shaming and be scarcity based and contributing to the capitalist pressure to consume more. And for example, there was this lovely astrologer on TikTok, and her work came across my feed. And the way she was talking about this full moon, she was like, the full moon is asking for you to take authority, but also be flexible, but also have compassion, but also stay nimble. And she just like listed 17 things, and they were all beautiful things. But I realized as I was listening to her, yeah, but she's just telling us how not okay we are. Like the fundamental message there is you better contort yourself into 75 different shapes, or you're not okay, or you're failing, or you're not going to make it, or you're not taking advantage of this moment in time. And so, beautiful packaging, beautiful messages, beautiful language, but underneath it was this basic message of you are not okay. You are not okay. We are not okay. It is not okay. And so, I just want to remind you that you need to listen to what you consume. You need to hear beneath it. There's what's being presented, and then there's the energetics behind it. And I really want you to keep coming back to the energetics behind it. Does this feel good? Does this open me? Does this make me feel safer in the world? Does this motivate me to move through the world with more freedom, more art, more hope? Or is this kind of pushing me into a place of shame, a place of not enoughness, a place of try harder, anything that's taking us out of the state of being, taking us out of the state of presence? So I just say all of that because I think it's going to get really loud over the next few years. I think we're going to hear more and more of people speaking from a perceived place of authority, and that's beautiful. And it requires that you not believe everyone knows better, and that you take into account where people are in their journey, and you take into account the energetics that they're transmitting to you as they offer you their teachings, as they offer you their information. I feel a little bit cautious about taking any of the systems of mysticism, any of the systems of spirituality, and using them to convey this idea that you're not enough and that you're doing it wrong and that there's a right way and that there's an arrival point. Like that stuff will just it'll get you tangled up. And you come back to what is true for me. You come back to compassion for yourself and your beautiful imperfections. You come back to presence. Like it gets really boring and simple, but there is something about widening into the presence of this moment that acts as a beautiful counterweight to the noise, and there's a lot of noise right now. Hopefully that helps you trust yourself more, trust your instincts more, and trust your body's reaction to words, spaces, people. Really, like, that's the discernment, the coming in of like, okay, I hear that. I'm willing to hear that. I'm present enough to hear that. And is that serving me? And is that helping me? And is that grounding me? Is that bringing me into my body? Is that bringing me into my power? Is that inspiring me to make more art? Whatever that looks like to you. Just watch yourself, protect yourself. We're all in a different leg of the journey, and everyone has something to teach us. But some people have a teaching that echoes through your field as love, and some people are going to offer you teachings that echo through your field as fear. And you just want to trust your instincts around that. So, the King of Wands last week, you probably are recognizing this. Like, you're probably having some sense of, I'm approaching this differently. I'm sitting in this space differently. I am committing to things in a different way, or I'm reevaluating my commitments, or I'm doubling down on the things that feel really good. And some of the nonsense gets cleared away. And there's a trust in what you're passionate about that might be new, and a trust in following what's right for you, regardless of whether other people agree or understand. There's just some vitality, like firing up in your system, that's asking you to take your desire, your passion more seriously, and to make sure that you're balancing that with your responsibilities. We can become very habitual in what we're committed to, very habitual in what we're responsible for and to, and we are dynamic beings. And so, can you hold that tension, that balance? The card I pulled for us this week is the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is beautiful energy, obviously. The Ten of Cups is the overflowing of joy. So, cups are emotion, it's our water body, it's our sense of love, connection, fluidity. And as I will say to you forever, the tens are one too many. So, the nine of cups in the tarot is called the wishing card. It's when your heart is so full that you magnetize to you what you wish for. So it's called the wishing card, but the energetics of it are, I am full in and of myself. I am singing a song that is clear and centered and aligned. And because of that, I act like a magnet in my life, and things are drawn to me that match that fullness, that match that resonance. And there's something that feels really good about that. The Ten of Cups is when that is so full that it overflows. And so the Ten of Cups is a beautiful card of overflowing joy, overflowing community, of connection, of like true love, like deep, deep love. It's a sense of home. It's a sense of I've arrived here and I am full and grateful and joyful in my arrival. It is a happy family, it is joy, it is dancing, it's a rainbow, it's the Ten of Cups. It's just like this heightened sense of fulfillment. And to be honest, it feels a little bit out of the rhythm. The King of Wands felt like this feels good. It might be new, I might be a little uncomfortable, I might be kind of figuring this out, but there's something alive and vital here. May we all feel the Ten of Cups this week. The Ten of Cups is truly heart satisfaction, and it is something that feels so good that you can't help but share it with other people. I guess the things you'd want to be aware of in a 10 of cups week that might not be all sunshine and rainbows is you want to be really careful about comparing yourself. You want to be really careful about feeling like someone else has more or has it all or is living the life you dream of. It comes back to that idea of the way your life is unfolding is unique and you have no competition. Like you have no competition. There's some conflict in this energy this week. So, what that might look like are, oh, this is too good to be true. That's going to be one. And so, check in with yourself. Okay, this is too good to be true because I've been hurt in the past, because I want it so bad. Or this is too good to be true because I'm ignoring some flags or some intuitive hit. So, check in with yourself. Like, where's that warning bell coming from? Is it coming from your trauma, your past, your heart, like wanting something so badly? Or is it coming from like actually the situation feels out of alignment in some way? I encourage you, if that comes up for you this week, to just slow down. just slow down. Like all things will be revealed, all things are revealed in time, and you don't owe anyone a deadline. You don't owe anyone timing. You get to decide, I'm going to take my time with this. If this is something that's really like your happily ever after, in whatever dimension it's showing up, then okay, I can take my time with it. It's not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. This situation isn't going anywhere. I can go at the pace that feels like love to me, that feels good to me. So that conversation around pacing, that idea of pacing comes up really clearly here. Pacing not only to check in and make sure that it feels good, but pacing because why not savor it? If this is really that good, why not drink every drop of it and let it take its time unfolding, let its sweetness reveal itself? The other thing is the sense of comparison. So, this idea that someone else has your happily ever after, someone else has some sense of like they've got it or they've taken my happily ever after. And okay, like we take that hit, we take that sense of disappointment and we honor it. Something appears in front of you. It's the perfect thing. Oh, that's the thing. And then it's no longer available for whatever reason. A house, a person, a job, a project, whatever. A cute outfit, like whatever the thing is. And it appears in front of us and it's taken off the table. Instead of thinking of it, oh my God, that was mine and now it's gone, we think, no, that was just to show me the possibility of more. That was to show me that I can want more, that there's more here. And so, okay, cool. There's just this conflict as I'm like sitting with this card. It's hard to stay still. It's hard for my mind to hold on to one aspect of it. And so, what that says to me is there's just this push pull with this energy. It's like, I want this so badly, but I'm also afraid of having it. I want this so badly, but I'm also afraid of it going away. And I was feeling that all week, and I was feeling that in private work, and I was feeling that in the moon circle. There's something about this contracting energy. So I'm expanding and contracting, I'm expanding and contracting. And what I would say about the 10 of Cups is that it's expanding something for you this week. It might be expanding it beyond your comfort, either because you're that excited about it, because it means that much to you, because it's so beautiful, or it's, I didn't know I could ask for that. I didn't know I could want that. I didn't know I could have that. There's something around that. And so, even if the thing doesn't come home to you this week, have you seen something now that allows you to expand? The meditation we did in the full moon circle last night was really working with our life, like on a painting, like at the scale of a painting. And one of the things was leave a blank space, like leave a space for the universe to surprise you, for something to appear that inspires you, that lights you up. And this has that vibe to it of like, okay, so I leave this blank space, something shows up, and it's better than I imagined, which is the dream, right? You want it to be better than you imagined. You want the universe to expand what's possible for you and get you excited. And when that arrives, that might be its own discomfort. So there's something here about the expanding and the contracting and allowing yourself to be happier, like allowing yourself to feel more joy, allowing yourself to feel more possibility, allowing yourself to feel more connection. So I would say to you again, I will say it forever and ever, trust yourself. Like you are the best authority, you know best, especially when you take your time. Like especially when you take your time and you sit with it and you're willing to untangle what's happening in your own being. We are going through an expansive moment. We're being pushed to hold more than we have in the past. Sometimes the contraction can be easier than the expansion. Sometimes it can be easier to be like, you know what, I'm just going to stay here, mind my business. This is good enough. That can be the easy route. Sometimes the hard route is, I want this. Like, I want this so much, and I am so excited about it, and I desire it so deeply that I'm afraid. I'm afraid that if I get this good thing, I'll lose it, or I won't be good enough for it, or I don't deserve it, and all that stuff will get churned up. So 10 of Cups fundamentally is so beautiful. Like it's almost too good. It's almost too good to be true. It's almost too beautiful. It's almost too beautiful to stay. It has this moment in time quality to it. This week ahead, notice where you are limiting yourself. Like notice where you're like, well, that's too much, or that's too good, or I want that too badly. And just notice again with compassion, the contraction in, it's too much. And then Feel brave in the expansion. Trust your instincts around something. If you need to pause, slow down, pace yourself, great, do that. Take this world at your pace. There is no arrival. There's nowhere to get to. We just want to be here as clearly and fully as we can right now, and then see what unfolds for us. See as the path unfolds in front of us. And, kind of enjoy it. Life is brief, it's short, it's difficult, it's challenging, it's emotional. And so this week, expanding your sense of joy, expanding your sense of community, expanding like what you want, what's possible for you. Enjoy that. Like, ride that ride. Yeah, ride that ride. So 10 of Cups, beautiful energy. May you feel it from head to toe, from Friday to Friday. May you ride that wave all the way to the shore. And notice where you pull back from joy. Notice where you pull back from connection. And just take your time with that. Take your time with what's actually happening here. Staying curious with your beautiful heart. Your beautiful heart. Stay curious with your beautiful heart. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you this week. May you take good care. May you be surprised. May you fall in love. May you have an expansive sense of what might be possible for you in your life. May you expand what might be possible in terms of your happiness, your joy, your community. We all deserve that. So may that come home to you this week. All right, bye.